Good morning, James Money. Good morning, these nuts. How y'all feeling? Good morning, Mr. Reese.
Good morning.
Tim.
How are you?
Love you, Arthur.
Love you, Arthur. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Mr.
Mocha.
Lee.
Oh, I
Good
forgot. I'm gonna put
morning.
the name down.
These nuts. Good morning. James Money. Have we seen you? Happy New Year. Hey, Jen. Good morning.
How you feeling? Listen,
I'm
bruh.
listening. I'm listening.
Trying to get it together.
Get
Good
it
morning, Mr. Reese.
together.
Okay, profile pic up.
New profile pictures for everybody for the new year.
Mocha. Poor P. Listen. It's nothing but the grace of God.
Jen said, listen, she's lending you her ear. Sheesh.
I'm exhausted, okay? It's gonna get easier, right? The more I do this.
Yep, that's what they tell us.
Lord, I barely
That's
made
what they say.
it. My whole body is on fire right now. Even my butt hurts, okay?
Well, they tell you you have to keep on working out through the pain.
Yeah.
That's what they say, but I don't listen to all of that. Sometimes I listen to my body because what you don't want to do is not be able to walk. And this knee, I'm 50 though. You're not 50. You don't have no excuse. Joe, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Literally,
Hey,
no pain, no gain. Exactly, Jan.
hey, Lincoln Library. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
definitely,
No
I
truer
push through
words
the
have
pain.
ever been
I push
said.
through the pain, but I wanted to give up, but I shall not.
I shall not be moved. Or whatever the song is. Shit. Oh,
You gotta work for what you want. That's in all things in life, okay? And here we are.
and here we are.
Good morning, Sky Bear. Good morning, mommy. I was gonna say good mommy morning.
Hey, Scabby. Listen, you Kentucky.
Wow, admiring you two got me thinking I'm ready for child support payments. Beautiful.
Sir, we are not. We are not. Good morning, mommy.
Good morning, Corey. Good morning, beautiful ladies. How y'all feeling today? I am wonderful, and Tam is
Amazing.
period. How you
And
doing,
so
Corey?
I've been telling y'all shit. Let's just put it like that.
Oh God. Well, listen.
Today was a good day.
Trigger warning with this topic. Okay.
Trigger warning for me.
Trigger warning.
Okay. I'm bracing myself. Shit.
Trigger warning with everyone. We'll see. Kentucky said, "Gotta get that laugh this morning, strangers." Exactly. We appreciate all of the laughs. Corey said, "Good to be here once again." I know that's right, Corey. It is a blessing. Okay. Today is Topic Tuesday. This is the After Party Podcast. Okay. Is Pam and Portia, and our initials are TAP. So we like to say tap that. So tap, 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 and tap all over this host box where I am sitting. For we have a 40K a day liking goal. We just started, and I know y'all kind of used to us being late, so I'm gonna give that excuse as why we're under 1,000 for at this moment. I know it's going to happen. It's going to work out, just as your girl been working out this morning. Okay, uh, we getting things in order. And speaking of getting things in order, I was looking at some stuff online and videos and such and such and such. And I was like, what are we going to talk about today? But it was heavy on my heart to talk about a topic actually that I spoke of in my Life Be Life and podcast last night. But it's been dwelling with me, forgiveness. And what that really looks like, child. Don't be looking like that, Tam. Don't be looking like
I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do it.
trigger warning, trigger warning,
Because
trigger warning.
you know what? It's not even a trigger warning. I had a very good conversation last night, and I feel at peace about some things that have not been sitting well with me. And so let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's talk about forgiveness. Look at Mocha. Oh, Lord. That's Virgo's face.
Baby, listen, Portia going through.
Yeah, so I was like, this might be a trigger. But this ain't even just for you, Tam. That's the thing. Because we didn't even talk about that in the midst of, what you're going through. And I'm like, but it is essentially that, right?
You
And I think
cannot
it's a
heal
missing
these
piece.
things that have hurt you if you don't
Yes, yes,
forgive.
yes, yes. And it's hard to, we all can honestly say it's hard to forgive when you feel such pain and hurt, disappointment, you feel stupid, you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of feelings surrounding it. So it's
Yeah.
like, can I really forgive? I don't know. But we're going to talk
When
about.
I want to hit you with my car.
There's that. Mocha said, just remember the forgiveness is for you, not for them. That was exactly the title of my episode, Mocha, Forgiving You for Me. It's not about you, it's really about me.
Yes.
I can't keep holding this stuff because of what you have done to me. And but I want to hear.
Jen put a car in the,
Not a car. You gonna run them over Jen? Uncle Joe said, I forgive all. I have no time. I stay happy. Okay.
all I saw was I ain't see I forgave all. I was gonna say you ain't got no time.
I know, right? He did it all in one line.
Okay.
It's not that serious. For the car thing, sometimes it do feel that serious, Jen.
It felt and what I was dealing with at that time, it did for a very fleeting moment feel that it do you have is it closed caption for you?
No.
It is on my screen.
Did you press something?
I didn't touch anything. But anyway, for a fleeting moment, it felt that serious. But because I love my freedom
Hello?
and I don't believe that I belong behind bars because I don't think that it will be a good look for me. Yeah, I it was a very fleeting moment. It was like a split second. Like I
Yeah.
think it's nobody else here, and I think I could just go boop boop and keep going, and like nobody would know. But then I was like, "Is that really what you want?"
Right. Right.
That's so funny because I told him that last night.
Wait, you talked to him? Oh, shoot.
I did.
Oh, so okay, we'll talk offline.
You got
Mocha
so many
said,
questions. Go ahead.
I know. Well, who I think we have all been there with the car, or maybe not. I'm sure it surely popped in my head. Then I had to remember I had a security clearance.
Okay.
That part. Mr. Reese says sometimes it's hard to forgive when people do you the most dirty. Exactly. So that's the part for me. Hi, Braylon. How you feeling? Welcome. Is this your first time here? Let me see if I got something for you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Um, I think that's the most difficult part, right? Because we want to just ignore, push to the side, and act like, oh, it did bother you and all of that. But we let our hurt sometimes consume us and keep
Mm,
us stagnant. And it's like, but you really did me bogus. Like, how can I get over that? How can I
mhm,
feel differently about this thing? Um, but I think it's possible. We just have to really give them the grace that God gives us. And what was more interesting about this, I was just listening to a podcast that I'm behind on. I think it was their first episode of December. And I was like, they were talking about, or their last episode in November, and the sister was talking about she don't believe in forgiveness. She holds on to, and they born and raised in church, whatever. And she was like, I don't believe in it because there's no way I can forgive somebody that did my sister dirty, my family dirty. Like, I know what you did. I ain't gonna forgive you for that. Like, it's like, I know how we like to try to categorize it, like, forgiving you, but also I ain't finna F with you because I know what you did. Ain't no, and then every time you see that person, you feeling some type of way, you got ill intentions in your heart. I don't know. It's like, well, do you really forgive them?
Forgiveness is just grace, just like what you just said. Like, I didn't forget what you did to me, and I'm not about to let you back in that space again
Yeah.
where you could repeat the cycle. But I can give you grace and let you move forward and not think about that car when I see you. I think that's what forgiveness really is. It's not saying that, oh, you could do anything you want to me and it's okay. It's not saying that. It's saying that I acknowledge what you have done to hurt me. You know what you have done to hurt me, and I give you a pass, but you can't come back here no more.
Right. And see, that piece right there is the thing, right? Um, just a reminder, the boxes are open. You guys are welcome to come up and say your piece, how you feel about it. Because I have a situation in particular, um, my situation, and I'm learning how to forgive and give grace to said person, even though, I mean, me and everybody else can see why you just won't do. Why is this so hard? But I have to acknowledge the mental space this person is in and the turmoil they may be in, and they can't see past that.
Mm.
And it's like, I want them to see past that, but they can't. And so I have to give them grace in the space that they're in. You know what I'm saying? Um, but for other people that I know mean no good for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that intentionally does things, or, and also because they don't know themselves and this is how they always been operating, they think this is okay to present this way. I also have to give them grace, but it's like, do I still F with you?
Um, Jen just said, and I think this is powerful. People confuse forgiveness for acceptance. It is
Yes,
not one and the same.
yes.
Just because I'm saying or I'm choosing, even if I didn't tell you that I'm forgiving you, even though I'm choosing to forgive you so that I can release my heart in this moment, it does not mean that I accept the ish that you're doing, right? It just means that I'm trying to free myself of these shackles that are holding me down, because hate is a shackle. um Anger, it's a shackle. And so it is just binding you, and they moving on with their life and doing they shit to the next person, and they
Yeah,
ain't thinking about how this is holding you down.
yeah.
So it is for you. It's not saying that you accept the behavior. It's just saying, I'm releasing this so that
Mhm.
I can move on.
Exactly. And I think that's exactly right what Jen said. People confuse forgiveness with acceptance. I'm not accepting your behavior
Hmm.
towards me, to mistreat me, to be fake and phony in my face, to act like you like me and love me and woo 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 woo, all of that. And in reality, you don't F with me. You talk crazy about me behind my back. You don't really deal with, you don't really care for me, because if you did, you wouldn't do the things that you do. You
Hmm.
behave enemy, like a hater, than you are a friend or a loved one. And it's like, how can I allow that type of toxicity within my space or around my children if that's not what we about? It's like you can't stand in alignment with people that's not in alignment with you. And I understand, if we want to go biblical, Jesus didn't hang around people that was in alignment necessarily with the word and all that type of stuff, which was a whole problem because they like, how dare you go be with these people? They poor, they this, they that, like they sinners. You know what I'm saying? And he like, no, but these are the people that need me the most. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all
And
need
also,
me.
these are the people that I can help to
I
change their
can
life,
help.
and I can show them something different, and then they will go out and spread my word
Exactly.
because I'm taking them from this very low, vulnerable position,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting them on high, and that is that is the difference. But we ain't Jesus, baby.
And therein lies that too. And so I think that I thank you, Jen, for that. The acceptance, confusing acceptance for forgiveness. I can forgive you and give you grace and know that you don't know what you're doing is reaping coals of fire on your head. That ain't my place to that ain't my place to judge you at. You know what I'm saying? But I know and I can see past what you presented. And I know that it ain't what I want to fool with. I'm not going to surround myself with stuff like that. It's just like allowing poison to be in the vicinity of where you live. And then it's a potential that you're going to touch it and it's going to corrupt you or corrode you and all. Why would I allow that?
Right.
That sounds foolish.
Hey, Mr. No Days Off,
Hey, Mr. No
Mark
Days
Matt
Off.
Davis. Lindsay says, I had to forgive my childhood self.
Yeah, what's that about, Lindsay? What does that mean exactly? Would you care to share?
Hey,
Uh,
Ethan. Good morning.
Ethan, what it do, boo?
The boxes are open. Y'all be jumping up in here when the boxes ain't open. Now y'all don't want to talk.
And everybody missing in action today. What's going on?
Well, here in the DMV, it is very dreary. So maybe some people done slept over.
Here in Chicago, it is snowing and slushy snowing at that. It's like really icky out there. Thank God for his traveling grace. My baby made it to school okay.
They're closing schools early here because of wind and rain, and that is unheard of. So they must be expecting it to be bad. But it's snowing in California.
Huh? Jen
Ain't
don't
Jen in
California.
California?
Uh-uh.
Oh shit. Oh, she just on the West Coast.
She in Oregon.
Oh, okay, okay.
They were up late watching the game last night. Oh, is that what it was?
They didn't need to stay up late to watch that damn game. Shit.
Sound the alarm, Tam. The new estate owner is in the building.
He's in the building.
He's in the building. Period. Good morning, Darren.
Go on. He
Hello.
bought us our 48 acres
He
and a
bought us
mule.
look, us, we taking ownership. He bought
Yeah,
us
yeah,
our
yeah.
48 acres in a mule, baby. You
Dag
gotta
on it.
do it, Darren. I am
He
so
said it's
proud of
Welch
you.
Estates, but I think it's Tap Estates.
Ah! That's why I was like, when he put Welch Estate, I was like, Darren last name is Welch, right? Yeah. Welch Estate. So proud of you. Darren, you don't even understand how that, this is a quick aside for the topic, how that thing blessed me yesterday. I was talking about that and praising God for that. And I was like, God is showing me, we know Darren, but we don't
Mm-hmm.
know Darren. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't know, nobody's circumstance and what they've been going through or whatever prior to
Absolutely.
being here or whatever. And even
We
with
didn't know all of that soap could equal this.
I'm telling you. And I was like, God, you just showing me that you in the neighborhood because you allowed me to see you bless somebody that have been fighting for something for 3 years. Talk about the discipline that it
Mm-hmm.
comes with ownership and being in a position that you can even keep going. They keep going up on a price. You can keep meeting it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're 36 years old.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Amen.
I am so proud of you.
And what a legacy to be able to leave all them 50-11 babies.
Thank you. Look at what you're showing these kids. That may have not been your intention to have all them children. I don't know.
But now they got a farm. Listen.
They got a farm, they got land. They could create a community on that land if they wanted to.
A compound. Listen, and not only that, I was thinking, this is what I was thinking, because, this is where my mind immediately goes. I was like, how blessed is your life that you, in the midst of a sale such as this, was able to bless your babies for Christmas. Everybody got a MacBook. Bless those babies to take them all to Disney World. In the midst of the middle of a huge sale like this,
I'm telling you.
What a God we serve.
Nothing but a God, okay? So we are grateful to...
Because I couldn't do nothing when I was buying, okay? I was like, listen.
Pinching pennies. That's why he didn't sub for so long, because he was taking care of business.
He was taking care of business.
I admire it. I hope to be like you one day when I grow up. Listen.
No, you will be like him.
I sell stuff in real life. We didn't think you was playing, baby. You showed it on
probably ass too. I don't know, but anyway.
You said what? Probably ass too. You get that away for free.
Y'all know we always got to be on playtime.
Unless he's selling it and it reaped the benefit he didn't think it would. I don't know.
That's what happened, I think.
That's a bad sale.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, Darren. LOL. If it will sell, it's sold. Period. Darren, we just wanted to give you your flowers. You are beyond deserving. And even just how you talk and how you've been moving and showing us how you move speaks volumes of your character and who you are. And thank you for being a part of TAP family. Sharing your blessing with us is so amazing. So yeah, that's dope. Hirsch guy. To my son, that went left. Anyways, so I don't know where everybody is. This is crazy, but today we are talking. Darren, I invited you up here. Don't be ignoring me. You know I don't like to be ignored. Lord Jesus. Anywho, we were talking about forgiveness. I'm at work. Okay. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Communication. Okay. Communication. Okay. But she forgives you. Exactly, Jen. It's clearly a lesson to be learned. I'm like, this is my second time having to call Darren out on ignoring me. Like, I'm not ignoring you. I'm doing this, and that. Well, say that. Communicate. The devil. I forgive you. The show must go on. Yes. Hey, Sky Bear.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just came up here to speak about forgiveness real quick.
Yeah.
For a long time, I wasn't able to forgive my father. He was never there for me in my life. Always disappointed me, having me sitting on the steps, looking out the door, waiting for him to come. Never showed up. He never stepped up, right? So as a little girl, I was hurt. Until I got older and got to know more about his story, got to realize how difficult it is to be a parent. And also got to not put expectations on him. So when I did that, I was forgiving him, but for myself, I had to get myself together first in order to forgive him. Sometimes we like the person got to get their self together first. No, we can't change anybody else. We have to get ourselves together, change our perspective for us to go ahead and forgive for ourselves. Like somebody said, it's like drinking poison that was for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So forgiveness is very, very important in life. You live a longer time when you forgive, for real.
For sure. For sure. Do you think it's something to be said about what the lady said about not forgiving? Like, it's just certain things you cannot forgive. especially when you see somebody do somebody dirty, or even if it's you. You just, I don't, I think it comes, it's a level of, is it pride? Like, I don't know what that is that would not allow you to give somebody grace within what they doing. I mean, Jesus was the greatest example of that when he was on the cross. He said, forgive them for they know not what they do, after they whooped his tail all up and down the street. Like,
Well, I'm not Jesus, so, but I can see how it can be hard to forgive other people. But like I said, once again, if you don't forgive other folks who have done you wrong, who have hurt you in unimaginable ways, you're just hurting yourself. You really are, because you're still thinking about that. It still eats you up. Oh, that person still did this. That person still did that. When you forgive, you don't forget, but you're able to deal with it different, have a different perspective, how to let it go a little bit better.
yeah, yeah. Jen said, it all comes from within. And that is true. It's definitely a power that you have to tap into within yourself, because just like you tapping into that pride and anger and all of that, you can tap into that grace and that mercy. It definitely comes from within. Justice said, Tam, it's supposed to flood within 3 hours after it starts in our area.
Oh, that's the reason why they're closing schools so early. Okay, thank you. I want to speak to Sky's comment about forgiving her dad, because I also was in a place where I was holding on to some childhood things with my mom, and I was having a very difficult time letting go of certain things that I thought should be a different way. And I don't know what I was basing it on. My personal feelings, what I saw in other families, whatever the case may be. But I was holding her feet to the fire for a few things as I was entering my adulthood. And I remember her saying to me, um, you will understand better when you have children of your own. And I did understand better when I had children of my own. And I don't know if that was also the case for you, Sky, but you know, your children are all very different people, right? And so one of my hangups with my mom is that I felt like I was treated differently than my sisters. Um, and she said, I did treat you differently because you are different. Like, you all needed something different from me. And it's very difficult or figuring out how to navigate that. She also talked about how, you know, I was the oldest, and she was like, you didn't come with an instruction manual. I was doing what I thought was right, and I wasn't always right. I was figuring it out. And so if you see me doing things differently with your sisters, it's because I learned better. I figured things out, you know. So I was able to, little by little, not all at once, but little by little, start releasing her from the guilt and shame I was putting on her for how I felt. And also it helped to release me because that thing was eating me up, and it was affecting how I was parenting. It was affecting how I was showing up as a wife. It was affecting how I was showing up as a friend. It was crippling me.
I
The
didn't mean
hell
to
was
say.
that?
Absolute
Absolute
came in
safe
and
breeding
say greetings,
earthlings.
Earthlings. So I said,
Is that your experience, Sky?
Can I go through?
No, wait. I was just asking Sky. Yes. Oh, she might be.
Sky, Sky. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Lindsay, you can go.
She done walked away from the phone, child.
Y'all. More. Um. So I can't with y'all, bro. Y'all
This
Mo-
supposed to be a serious subject. Look at us acting
right?
like
We up
fools.
here. Okay. So I had to forgive my parents as well, Tam. My mom and my dad, mostly my mom. Um, they were young parents. I didn't come with an instruction manual, and I always felt like both my parents hated me for a very long time until
Mm,
I finally sat down with both of them and they explained it to me and explained why they were so hard on me and different things of that nature. And I even recently thanked my father for being so hard on me, because I would not be the man I am right now if it wasn't for that. Because in my 20s, in my late teens, early 20s, my dad was like really, really hard on me. And I didn't understand that. And I was like, Dad, do this dude like me? Do this dude love me? Do this dude even give a damn?
yeah.
And, I finally realized, being a parent as well, that it was tough love. That's how he got his love from his father. So he was just, repeating the cycle. And I hate that he did it, but I also thanked him because it made me stronger. So that's my story of forgiveness.
Yeah.
But you also said that you had to forgive your childhood self. Was that
Yeah.
about this situation?
It was about this situation, and also, well, I've told you guys. You guys know a little bit of my story. I was essayed as a child,
Hmm.
um, and I blamed myself for it for a long time. And I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive my younger self. I had to sit. Uh, I had to stand in the mirror and cry it out and tell my younger self that it was okay. Like, it wasn't your fault. So
Mm,
yeah, I had to do that. Believe it or not, my fiance now, she made me do it.
yeah.
So, that was me forgiving my younger self, because I blamed myself for that for a long, long time. I was
Yeah.
like, why I didn't say anything, why I didn't come to my parents, why I didn't, you know, do something
Mhm.
about it, and why I just let it happen. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to do that.
Some of them crying sessions in front of the mirror be the best releases ever. Cause it's like you're really seeing yourself. You seeing your own pain, and as you said, pointed out, forgiving yourself for whatever part you feel like you played in it. And certainly, of course, um, you didn't need to forgive yourself because you weren't to blame. A lot of times we're holding on to guilt and shame of things that we had no control over.
Right.
And so I'm happy to know that you have released yourself. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
It took me some time, a while, but my fiance would see me resort back to that age a lot, and she was like, "Nope, you need to just sit right here in front of this mirror. I don't care how you do it, what you do. You need to deal with that." She closed the door, locked it, and I had to sit there. I had to sit there and deal with.
Oh, that
Uh,
sounds like abuse now. I don't
no,
know.
no, 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 not at all. I had to confront my 10-year-old
I'm about to
self.
call the people. You dealing with a whole nother thing. It's like, no.
Nah, some misery type stuff. No, no, it
Right.
wasn't that. But no, she did, and I handled it. I cried it out, and me and my 10-year-old self, we good.
Now, Lindsay,
Yeah.
I hear what you just said, and I pay attention to a lot of things. I'm very observant.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like that 10-year-old self still doesn't come up sometimes, like you revert back to that age?
On occasion,
Yeah. Okay.
on occasion,
Okay.
I try to catch myself with it, but
Mm-hmm.
on occasion, yes, it does pop up. I'm not.
Yes. No
It
one is.
happens. You know
No
what I'm
one is
saying? And
requiring you to be. Yeah.
but I'm learning as I grow older. I'm learning how to not revert to the 10.
Yeah, yeah.
and be the 42.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's huge. That's huge. And yeah, I wasn't bringing that up to be like, you know, you ain't perfect. It's not that at all because
right,
no one
right.
is. We're all working, towards something, but it is important for us to be honest with ourselves. And I was just asking or curious to what you see because
Mhm.
I can see that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm glad that you're working through it and doing what you have to do in order to, be 42-year-old Lindsay.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really, I feel like a lot of us revert to certain ages of
Ages.
ourselves, especially when we're put in certain situations and circumstances. And I think you
Mhm.
can attest to the same thing, Tam, when, you are around your mother. It's hard sometimes to not think about how you felt as a child. It's the same thing for me. And I'm working on that because now my attitude is to combat that. Now I'm ready to fight. And I'm not to my physically fight, but now I'm ready to stand up for myself and not
Mhm.
allow certain
Yep.
things because of, essentially the trigger. And I'm reverting back to an age that I was when I felt like I didn't have a voice and I didn't have
Absolutely.
any say. Now I'm an adult. And so it's like, you constantly combating that, like, wait a minute, I don't want to be disrespectful either, but also I want to stand up for myself, and I want you to know that I know better now, and I'm not
Mhm.
gonna, it's difficult. It's difficult. So, it's interesting. Good morning, Ron. How you doing?
Good morning, Ron. Yeah, it is difficult, but necessary.
Hmm.
Hey, Jen.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Um, I was going to say that for me, not that I haven't had situations obviously in my life that would require forgiveness of the other person or situation, but for me, I feel like taking accountability to where I can forgive myself for things
Mhm.
I've done is probably harder than, well, maybe harder, but harder than potentially forgiving someone else. Because
Mhm.
I think, you get, I'm not only speaking of myself personally, you can get really caught up in that hurt and pain, and it can be so raw that you hold on to that. And so, and like you said, or someone said this, that you're right. I mean, the other person in situations have probably already moved on. They don't, your forgiveness is for you. So when
Absolutely.
when that other person has moved on, they're, maybe they care that there's some forgiveness there, but if that's their pattern, then they don't care. They're on to the next. And so there's been things for me personally that I just had to finally get to a point, because I would just keep going through this cycle of things that, you know, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and all of that. And I'm just like, it's gonna drive me nuts. I
Gonna
can't.
eat you alive. Yep.
Yeah, it will. It will consume you, and it's so difficult to forgive yourself, I feel, and owes the same grace that we probably do other people, for sure, right? So,
For sure.
but to be a better parent, to be a better partner, all of those things. I mean, I just had to say, I'm either going to drive myself crazy or I can choose to do this. And it's still hard. I work on that every single day, and it's difficult for sure. But
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree, Jen. And it's something to be said about that though. Like, when you forgive, or do you really look at it and deal with it like they really don't know? They really lack the understanding of their actions and what they're doing. Because, like I said before, if they really did know, they
Mhm.
would show up differently. But they could not know. And I only reason why I say that is, um, good morning, Mr. Showtime. He said, hi, my beautiful peach cobblers.
Good
Okay.
morning.
Good morning. I like peach cobblers. Anyway, no, the reason why I said that because me personally, I had a situation in my life that um I didn't fully understand at the time. Like I had surface level knowledge of the thing. It's like essentially we all know being rude is not becoming, right? Like that's a surface level thing. But how it was broken down to me, like but we still do it at times, right? And we'll be rude to who we pick and choose and da da da. But we know that's not a proper way to be, right? And so but I think the more experience and the more lessons and the more things that we go through, that we get a greater understanding of, oh, being rude is because, yes, that's not a good thing because of this, and that, opposed to somebody just telling you, don't be rude. Well, what do you mean, don't be rude? Well, when you don't say hello when you walk in the room, that's rude. Well, why is that rude? Like we lack understanding and knowledge of the full picture of things. It's just given to us very surface level. So for me, with my situation, I knew it was wrong because that's what people told me it was wrong. But when it came time for me to make a decision, I was like, hey, I got to make this decision because this is what's best for me. But then I was like, I had to really question God with that. Like, can I be really held to the fire for something I truly lacked the understanding of? Yes, I knew it was wrong on the surface level, but I really didn't know deep down. I didn't have the understanding of the full picture of it. Now I do. So I wouldn't make that, I wouldn't do that thing again. I wouldn't choose that decision again. Do you understand what I'm saying, Jen? Is it the same? Like, can we really? So that makes me, if I was in that situation, I have to give grace to you because you really don't know what you're doing. Even though I understand it and I see it, you don't.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I agree. I agree with that. I mean, I can think of a couple situations, and I think of my mom that she said, "Well, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand." And I would always say, "Try me." You know, like you don't know what I don't understand until you actually present it to me. And so I think, and she would say that when I was younger, of course, but then she kept saying it, and I know she probably had her own feelings about choices she kinds of things, but um yeah, I mean, to this day, and of course now she's been gone for, it'll be 5 years, and to this day, it's my last conversation with my mother, you know, she kind of just dropped a lot on me, and it was like, you know, wow, I mean, she was going through a lot, she really hurt a lot, and those are things that I would have loved to have been able to be there for her.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said, that acceptance of our own, that's what I'm getting at, the acceptance of our own, you know, part or take on that, is it can be really difficult, and it can block others around you from being able to at least have the knowledge and the path to be able to move forward and have forgiveness for you as well. So
Yeah. Agreed. Hey Jay, how you doing? Clarence said one thing about it: if you still have your mother or father still walking around, you have a chance to correct. Yes, and that's with anybody. Anybody that you're holding any unforgiveness in your heart for, and correcting it may not mean confronting. It could just be you reconciling within yourself and choosing to let it go. That thing to fester any longer. Hey Justin, what say ye about forgiveness? We're talking about forgiveness today, y'all.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Jen.
Jen. Appreciate you, love.
Bear with me because this is actually a really touching thing for me. Forgiveness for me is big, especially because of what I went through. I'm gonna start by saying my father. My father was supposedly a great man. He saved actually my mom from her abusive ex-husband, which was my brother's father. And they loved each other for a time until the day of my birth. The day I was born, my father, my actual father, on the way to the hospital, got hit by 18-wheeler
Jesus.
when I was being born. My mother resented me for that. I was not treated like the rest of my children, like the rest of her children.
Yeah.
I was completely treated different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, things happen in my life that I always, I'm just going to use the word hated my mother for.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
allowed so much stuff to happen to me that I, at one point in time, hated her.
Yeah.
As I got older and we became, and as a teenager, I did forgive her for some things or whatever, but there was still that resentment. There was still that feeling.
Yeah.
Um, when I turned 20, well, when I was 20, not turned 20, but when I was 20,
Mm-hmm.
my mother called me at work one day and asked me some things and some questions about things that she knew happened in my life but didn't believe, but now it came to light.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at work, so I didn't really want to talk about it. But she really got into it, and she said, please tell me if this is true. Did this happen to you? Did these things happen to you?" And I said, yes, they did. And she broke down crying, asking me for forgiveness, begged me for forgiveness right there when I was at work. It ended up being a conversation so bad where I had to leave work early
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I was so emotional.
Yeah.
Um, My mom, after that, probably didn't call me for a week because she felt some type of way. I tried to call her, and we left it at that after we did start talking. But then here's the thing. Even though I forgave my mama on that phone that
Yeah.
day, I really wanted that conversation with my mother. I really wanted to have that chance to get
Yeah.
to tell her
Mm-hmm.
exactly how I felt
Yeah.
and about some of the things that really happened and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I never got that chance.
Mm.
She
Yeah.
passed away, and now I'm sitting up at the sky looking up, asking my mom to forgive me, not being real about the forgiveness I gave her.
Mm-hmm.
I know if we would have had that conversation, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
So it took a lot of church and a lot of therapy to forgive myself for not doing the same, and it took a lot of church and a lot of therapy to actually truly forgive my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very Justin, just like Lindsay stated earlier, that you have to forgive your childhood self for sure, for sure, because you didn't know how to come to your mom, and like you prefaced at the beginning of this whole conversation, that your mom treated you a certain way because of the circumstances, and she didn't understand what she was doing at that time, and you didn't understand why you were being treated this way fully, and all of that. And so here we are, and everything happens the way that it happens for a reason, but you have to let that go. And at this point, because your mother is no longer, to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself and give yourself grace, because you did what you thought you could do at that time. She didn't make space for you to really, express your feelings and stuff. She really didn't care, quote unquote, according to you, because of what happened with your father, to that extent, to give you that space that you needed as her child. But, thank God y'all had that moment, and that was meant to happen to give you some sort of relief, right? So You can take that and count it all joy. And I know it still hurts. It's very emotional. Even today, at the age that you are, but you gotta learn how to like let that go and reconcile within yourself. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Um, we all deal with a lot of hurt, pain, trauma, and things that we've been through. But we really gotta learn how to process through this stuff for real, for real, for real. And that's the whole point. Like, and I said that at the top of this. A lot of y'all was late, unfortunately. This is a trigger warning type of topic because a lot of us are dealing with unforgiveness. And a lot of us are dealing with how to deal with people or still learn to navigate this space. And that's okay. Young and older, that's okay. And that's why this conversation is extremely important. Goodfella said in the comments, that's why people have to be ready for what true forgiveness brings. And I totally agree because it will wipe away all of that. That's what I'm saying. Absolute said, mama be young man, be mama, young man's first love. Mama be young man's first love. Okay. Ladies can't beat down the child of that man. Exactly, exactly, absolute. We have to be careful about how we do things. And I know, we're learning a little more.
And that's vice versa. That's vice versa because men,
Yeah.
a lot of times when a man and a woman don't work out, then those children suffer, and a lot of times the men, they don't, not a lot of times, sometimes, let me pull that back. Sometimes the men cannot be fully present in the lives of their children because they're harboring resentment for the woman.
Yep.
They're the adult situations is causing you not to be able to love on your children properly. So um that's more stuff that we end up having to forgive.
Yep. Yep. Hey, Mr. Reese, what say ye? We praying for you, Justin. Love you.
Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing today?
Wonderful. How are
We're
you?
amazing. How are you, Mr. Reese?
I'm all right. This subject was kind of touchy for me
Hmm.
because I got like my real father. I haven't seen my real father since I was 7, and I don't know. He's just been missing from my life all this time. Now, even though I have a stepfather and he raised me to be a good man, he raised me, my brothers, my sisters, and he's good. He was a great man. I will
Hmm.
love him for that for always. But now, about maybe 7 years ago, my real father get in touch with me. His girlfriend found me on Facebook. So at first I didn't really want to talk to him. I'm like, man, look, I'm grown. There's nothing you can tell me. You nothing you can teach me. But my wife said, yeah, give him a chance. He can explain himself to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I give him a chance. We talk on the phone for a minute. Now I'm living in Houston. He's in Galveston. That's where I'm originally from.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally, we talk on the phone enough, and he said, well, I would like to see you. Can you come down and we can talk and I can explain everything to you and everything? I was like, okay, fine. Now that time comes and I get my wife, I get my stepdaughter. We go down there. I want him to meet everybody. Want to be my wife. Want to be my stepdaughter. We get there. I go to his house. The girlfriend answers the phone. I mean, she answered the door. So I'm, I'm excited. I want to see him. He's going back to jail again. He's been in and out of jail all my life. Now that I'm grown up, he's still doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can forgive him for that, even though now he's sending me letters from prison. All I do is throw them away.
You know,
Mr. Reese, can I offer you that because that's one of the things that we were talking about at the top of the hour. It's for you. It's for your release. And I offer you that you should read those letters and you should forgive them because Clarence just said something really powerful. You wonder where all that anger and distrust come from between some men and women. It's the child in them. There is something broken in him, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. And he probably really did want to mend the relationship, but because of the child in him that he has not healed, he ended up back in jail. That has nothing to do with you, and that really has nothing to do with his desire to have anything to do with you. It is something very broken in him.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with you. And in order to release yourself from that pain, it starts first with forgiving him for recognizing that he's not a full grown man. He is a child in an adult's body.
Yeah.
I want to. I trust me. I want to. It's just
You got to pray that thing away. I'm telling you.
If you want to,
yeah.
what's the barrier? What's stopping you? If you want to and the desire is there, what's stopping you? Is it your
I don't.
pride? Is it the hurt? What is it?
I don't
It's
know.
the hurt.
Yeah, it probably is the hurt.
The disappointment?
My wife said the same thing. But it's just I don't know. I just act like I just don't want to hear it no more. It's just like excuse after excuse after excuse.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because listen, I'm just saying this. You don't have to welcome him back into your life and have him put his feet under your dinner table. I'm saying forgive what was in the past and move on forward. That doesn't mean you have to make him a part of your life. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that at all. If you read 5 of the letters and never read another one, do that for you because you don't know what's in that letter.
Yeah. Yeah. And it may give you some more insight into him. I had someone tell me that reading some past messages and letters and diaries of a parent gave them so much insight after they felt rejected and denied this relationship that we so desire, right? It gave them so much insight into the mind of said parent. And we be thinking we know and what the world has framed it. Oh, they don't want me. We feel abandoned and all that type of stuff. But they actually might want you. They just can't get past their own demons and they own actually show up for you. It's like Tim said, it's not you, Mr. Reese. It's not you. It's
And we must remember that our parents grew up in a very different time than we did.
yeah.
And life just was different. And it was a lot more difficult in their time. A lot of them got hooked on drugs. I know that was my father's story. And then my mother was struggling to listen. My mother was forced to marry when she always questioned whether she should marry him or not, and was in love with another man. She married him because my aunt who raised her said so, and they were very miserable.
Mm-hmm.
He was a drug addict, in and out of jail. My life is mirroring yours, and my mother was not a good mother to me, and she is still in denial about. She has not
Taking
admitted
accountability.
any faults.
Mm-hmm. Taking
It's one
accountability.
excuse after another. Well, it was because of this, or it was because of that, or you don't understand, as Jen said, that her mother said, and maybe I won't understand. So I'm choosing to forgive because I don't want any regrets. If tomorrow she's called home, I do not want to be like, I wish I could have been a better daughter. I could have just shown up. I don't want that on my life and on my heart. So the forgiveness is definitely for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, who is this that's blacked out?
Girl, Lindsay.
Lindsay. Oh yeah, Lindsay. Okay, good fella. While Lindsay is gone, good fella. What say ye about forgiveness? Thank you for being patient, and thank you for sharing, Mr. Reese. You don't have to leave. I'm just giving you
Minute.
your flowers.
Well, well, good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Excuse my coming in late. I'm still at work doing some things, but I definitely didn't want to pass up the opportunity to speak on a situation that I feel strongly about. Um, and forgive me if I say something that's already been said, but I want to say this: forgiveness is one of the most underestimated lifestyles, and I say lifestyle because forgiveness is not just a word you speak. It's a life you have to live every day. And forgiveness is almost as close as karma as anything else because forgiveness is going to find a way to come back to you to see if you really meant your forgiveness.
Mm.
In whichever way you say it, forgiveness is going to find a way to come back to see if you were true to your word.
Hmm.
And that's why I made that statement that people have to really be ready to forgive when you say it, because forgiveness, and I can't make this point any clearer, because whatever situation you're in with, life is going to bring it back,
Yeah.
which goes to the point that Tam and Portia have been saying, that it's for you. It's
Hmm.
not the other person, because when you say you forgive someone,
Hmm.
life is going to come back and put you in a situation to see if you really meant it, not them,
Hmm.
you.
Yep.
And that's why it's so heavy, and people don't even realize that unforgiveness brings more pain than the situation that you were dealing with.
Yeah.
It brings more pain,
Yes.
and sometimes the very fact of you saying "I forgive you" can begin a process of relief that's going to take a process. But
Yeah.
speaking it begins the life that you have to live. You're going to put yourself in a situation where things might seem hard, but that's why forgiveness is real. And you got to understand what it is. Because the more you speak forgiving somebody, the more life is going to test you to see if it is. So,
Yep.
forgiveness is something you really, really have to understand and know if you're ready to do it. Thank you all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, good fella. That is so real and good. I I totally concur. I'm saying they lack the understanding of what they're doing, and now you have to take that understanding of what it is. You have to take that understanding to know that they don't really understand, and that's okay. But since you do,
That damn gator girl. Listen, leave him alone.
okay. Thank you, Zaddy.
Talking about she was late. Her ass was late. She ain't coming here to damn Goodfella got his ass in here.
Lord Jesus, look at Scott. Exactly, he y'all man. Lord
He
Jesus.
for the streets. He about to cuss me out. He about to cuss me out.
Forgive her, Tam.
Uh,
Good morning, may I speak?
yes.
Portia, I'm going to say this to you. Thank you for such an amazing show that you're doing. And I'm not going to get out of character and say something that I shouldn't at this very moment, just because I want to stay true to my name, because I am a good fellow.
Negro, please.
But I ain't, look, but don't push me.
Oh,
Ooh, ain't nobody scared of you. Ain't nobody scared of you.
look at Clarence. I knew it. I can't. Look at Scott, my favorite good
She
fella,
gets
Gator
on my
Girl. And
nerves.
I, ooh. Smoker said, well, damn. Look at
Ain't
Jen.
nobody scared of him. He always talking trash. He ain't gonna do nothing. Anyway, back to this forgiveness piece, though. Seriously.
Yes.
I was minding my business. I was just minding my business.
You
But
was
your
just
woman came in here talking shit, so I
I'm
had to get her. It wasn't
woman.
really about you. Forgive me, because it wasn't about you.
Interesting is that a woman would never call another woman somebody's woman. You don't bow to defeat. You don't never do that.
Listen, baby, did I ever say I was defeated?
Wait a minute.
Miss Portia,
Oh, you gonna address Portia?
Uh-oh, challenge. Gave a
Baby,
girl.
there's no challenge here.
Mm.
He sounded
You
like
came up here to say,
right. Mm.
you love everybody. Good fella, you for the streets. Anyway, back to this forgiveness piece.
Hey Biggs, how you feeling? Um, okay. So yeah, that y'all is funny. Damn. Oh,
I have to mess with good fella. He know that. And I have to mess with Gator Girl because I saw the timing in which she came in here. Talking about I'm so late. I know your ass is late. Who you forgiving, Gator Girl? Who do you have to forgive?
right. Damn, the streets, Clarence said. What? Yes, I love my Tam Tam. Period, Gator girl.
Girl, it is all in good fun because he don't belong to none of us.
but may I say this though, on a real to real, since we're talking about who you had to forgive, and
Hmm.
I'll go straight real deal. All jokes aside, I listened to what everybody's saying. Those stories of having to forgive my dad or my mom or
Mhm.
situations like that. As I was getting older, I had to realize that um, I had to learn to forgive me
Mhm.
because I was in a lot of situations where I was making stupid mistakes when it came to relationships, when it came to family, when it came to life, when it came to education.
Mhm.
I was making stupid mistakes because I wasn't raised that way. I put myself in real bad situations because I thought I was grown and I wouldn't listen to people. I
Mhm.
said I can do it on my own. And every time I did that, I made a worse situation than it ever was because I wouldn't listen.
Mhm.
I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't pay attention to wisdom that was being taught to me.
Do
Hmm.
you
So I
listen
had,
now?
oh, I do. I,
Mhm.
I, I absolutely do because it got to the point where I was homeless, sleeping outside. I got
Mhm.
put out of my home. I got things taken away from me. I ended up sleeping in a shelter, sharing a bathroom with 12 dudes.
Mhm.
And I was in real bad situations, but I had to make a point that either I was going to forgive myself and make better decisions, or I was
Mhm.
going to continue walking down the road that I didn't want to. So I said to myself, I said, listen, you gotta forgive yourself. After I learned from somebody and they taught me some things,
Mhm.
it took me sitting down and realizing that the person I had to forgive was me in
Hmm.
order to begin making a pathway to the right path. So sometimes that forgiveness, it comes for yourself from yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you really if you are a person that um spends any time doing self-reflection, you can see your fault in a myriad of situations, right? It is not always the fault of someone else.
Yeah.
It's just easier to blame someone else, right? and
Exactly,
and it's really
Tam.
hard to look yourself in the mirror a lot of times and be like, no, this, you did that, like, this on you. So thank you for sharing that with us, because we didn't know that part of your story. At least I did not, and it shows the level of maturity and the man that you are, that you could stand in that truth and share that with us on this panel today. So
And
that's
when
why we
and
love
when
you,
it
good
begins,
fella.
thank
Hmm.
you. And when the seminars begin, I spoke with two executive producers of these it's marriage counseling, relationship counseling seminars that after they learned some of the stories that I spoke of myself and whatnot, I'm actually going to be a part of a marriage relationship retreat from a man's point of view. And if you ever know anything about AA meetings, one of the first things that they teach people, you get in there, you say your name, and then you take responsibility for who you are, and you say that. Well, I'm using that approach in these seminars. My name is Michael Owens, and I was wrong. That's how my segments start. Because as a man, a lot of times, taking ability for being wrong is something that a lot of men don't do. But on a seminar part, I, one of the things that I told God is that I may never get the chance to love again. I might not, because I've been in relationships that I know I destroyed because of mistakes that I did. And if I never get to love again, one of the things I want to do is to help someone not fall into a hole that I fell into. If me talking about my mistakes and my wrong and that type of situation can help someone else realize that, hey, as a man, there are things that we can do first. So without those things, uh, I'm happy to be a part of that. So that's one of the things that I'll be doing in 2024 too as well.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you, Justin. He said commercial.
Okay. This is the After Party Podcast where your host is Tam and Portia. Our initials are TAP, so we like to say tap that. So tap, tap, tap up this screen for we have a 40K a day liking goal. We are at 21.1 and we are just a little over 45 minutes out from the end of this conversation today. We are here Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 Eastern, giving y'all two good hours of free. Today's topic, we are talking about forgiveness. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I know this is a touchy topic. Most people don't want to talk about it. The number's been pretty low today, but that's okay. For those who are here to have the conversation and willing to learn something from it, be vulnerable and grow and hold yourself accountable, I commend you. And for those who rather opt out, it is what it is. It is fine. When you're ready, you shall receive.
The people that are meant to be here for this conversation are here.
Yes.
I believe that wholeheartedly. I've been really settling that in my mind lately because I know we've talked about it a lot. Like, we go to some of these other panels where they talking about bullshit and it be 500 people in the room to talk about bullshit because people want to live in a fantasy world. And it's really hard to face yourself. So people that cannot be here, it's because they can't face themselves. And that's okay. They're not ready. And when they are, we'll still be here.
That part. Clarence said, we as people are afraid of self-blame. We have to have accountability. So to break barriers, we have. I totally agree, Clarence. I want to be very clear though. Don't Justin shared his story with us earlier, and like most of us, we internalize these things and be like, "It's me." Lindsay said the same thing. It's me. It's me. It's me. Don't confuse that for holding yourself accountable. And like Lindsay also said, you have to forgive yourself. So don't blame yourself. You need to look inward, but also don't take it like, oh, I'm just a terrible person because I've shown up this way, right? No, I didn't know any better at that time. Now I know. And you're not going to internalize these feelings and blame yourself, but you're going to take accountability for your lack of knowledge within the situations as well. But now you know, and that's why you can forgive and let it go for somebody else. Okay? So be aware of that. Mocha Latte, what it do, boo?
Good morning, ladies.
Good
I was waiting to get it
morning.
out. But Mr. Reese, um, Well, actually, there's a few things you guys talked about that kind of hit home with me.
Mhm.
I went through the whole forgiveness thing of my mother early. We didn't have that relationship initially because I felt as though she acted towards me that was different from how my brother was raised. And mind you, we grew up in the same household. There's only a 4 year difference. But it took a lot of soul searching and a lot of like trying to figure out where she got that from, where that came from. Because I'm one of those people, I like to see the big picture. So it's like, seeing that pattern and, making that effort to mend that. And then it was acceptance. And then now you can't tell me that ain't my best. That's
Mhm.
it just took a lot of me being a bigger person and saying,
Mhm.
what? You my mama. I understand that, because at one point it was always, me trying to prove myself to her. And then
Mhm.
you have to get past that. Like there's nothing I could possibly do or be that would make me perfect and
No.
Mhm.
that's not what my life should be anyway.
Exactly.
So that was my, my role in it. And I had to fix that. So once we got past that, our relationship became better. But then later on down the line, I'll give it like 6 years ago, my dad's little skeletons jumped out the closet.
Mm.
And when I say skeletons, I mean a whole nother woman and a child that was kept a secret for over 25 years.
Wow.
And that tarnished the relationship that both myself and my brother had with him.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, and this is why I was dragging Mr. Reese in. Forgiving and acceptance does not mean that you have to agree with their lifestyle.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that you have to, yeah, you forgive him for not being, I mean, for, not being present in your life. You forgive him for all of those things that he wasn't to you.
Mhm.
You accept the fact that, and I don't want to talk about your dad, but you accept the fact that he's a knucklehead, that he may still be, he's an old fool.
Mhm.
Because I had that uncle, and again, I can tell you more about my father, accepted it, like him being accepting to what he's done and
Mhm.
owning it hasn't necessarily happened. Not the way I feel as though, and it's not even my burden to use or say, but he hasn't done the things that we all would have after,
Mhm.
Mhm.
the stuff fell out the closet.
Yeah.
But still love him. The
Mhm.
relationship is not what it was, and that's partially on me, partially on him.
Mhm.
Um, but forgiven, and I've accepted him for who he is.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that, yeah, it's me with the birds.
I was
Gator
just
girl.
about to say, who
They
got
were
the
quiet
who?
up until I got on here, and apparently they want to talk now.
Are they
Yeah,
parakeets?
they are, and they're about to be outside in the cold if they don't be quiet.
Oh, don't do them. They're just doing what they naturally do. I love
No, that
parakeets.
screeching is what kills me. I don't mind the chirping, but when they get to arguing and fighting, goodbye.
I
You
hate
talking about them
birds.
like they kids, Poker.
I do. I treat them like, yeah, no, those are kids.
I
I
I
hate
fuss.
birds.
Come get them, Gator girl. Or I'll ship them to you. But yeah,
Oh,
Mr.
not
Reese,
ship them. Oh
I
Lord.
will. But Mr. Reese, do it for yourself. And one thing that I do give your dad, he's trying. He's reaching out to you. So that's showing that a part of him wants to be an adult in this situation and try to mend a relationship or at least talk to you. So
Yeah.
don't block that communication. Even if you just read it and you don't respond right away.
Yeah.
I
Don't want you to
appreciate
be
that.
so closed off to it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna give him a chance. It's gonna be
You, d-
hard, but
I'm,
I'm gonna give him a
I'm not
chance.
even telling you to give him a chance. I'm telling you to forgive for
Mm,
you. And once you have truly released yourself, then decide. Don't decide today
right.
whether or not you have to give him a chance to come into your life. I ain't even saying that. I'm just saying recognize the fact that if he's still doing the same thing, he has not grown up in his mind.
No.
And that's something that's broken in him.
But that's the thing. All the times we was talking on the phone, he was telling me, "Oh, he's a changed man. He's doing this. He has a job. He has all this going on." And then on the day I want to meet you, you go back doing the same thing again, breaking into
Mhm.
people's houses. I say, "You kind of old for this. I'm 43 years old, and you still doing what you doing."
I could tell you a personal
I
story about a friend whose father is
was
doing the same thing, but I will not share her business. But I'm telling you, it's something about them old people be doing
I
crazy
tell
stuff.
her, great
I was
uncle.
What Sky got behind her?
Cat.
I can't. So I was thinking of your own story, Tam, when he said that. Because what are the odds on the day that him and his family are going to meet his father, he go do something like that and land himself right? Like it's something to that psyche. It could be he wasn't ready to address it, even though he said he was, and then boom. You know, we
Mhm.
see that happen in movies. People that deal with people that have addiction problems, they'll go get high and mess up the chance to reconcile and stuff just because they can't mentally deal with it. It's
Mhm.
something with that mentally, or
Mhm.
avoid and go do something else because and try to blow it off and dismiss, and it feels dismissive to you and you feel like you don't care about me, how dare you do that. And
Mhm.
it's not really a you thing, it's a them thing.
Mhm.
um yeah.
Sky been raising her hand for a minute.
What Sky?
Thank you. I'm trying to be serious today,
Okay,
y'all.
I'm sorry,
Look
go
at her looking all professional.
No, but look, this just dropped in my spirit. So
come on, spirit.
maybe the test was for you to forgive, because without those trials and tribulations, you wouldn't become the person that you are. You wouldn't have the resilience that you have. You wouldn't have the faith that you have. You wouldn't show others grace. So I gave you an example. Me and my mom were homeless when I was younger. She was a drug addict. She had me out on the streets. Our only Thanksgiving we had was in a shelter, but it was the best thing ever. And I was mad about that when I got older in my teenage years, but now I do Thanksgiving for the less fortunate in halfway houses. So that what I thought should have been forgiven, because that horrible childhood turned into being a blessing for others and part of my purpose. So we should also look at that forgiveness as also helping us, and also letting God know like he knew what he was doing. This happened, that happened, but we have to have valleys. No one said we wouldn't have them. So let's enjoy those and turn those into peaks and mountains, okay?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And also, Mr. Reese, I'm just thinking, you said you had a wonderful stepfather. You know, your father just got out the way so that the man that the Lord needed to place in your life could come in.
Yes,
He got him
yes,
out the way because he wasn't gonna he was able to make you this man that you have become.
Yes.
That
Yes.
does have forgiveness in your heart. You just have to actually do the work.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
Yes,
And
indeed.
yeah,
it don't make it hurt less. But some people didn't get that chance that you had to even
Mhm.
have that experience of a man being in a home, willing to raise them, willing to teach them, willing to
All of
pour
our
into
tappers are in the box. Get the hell out the box.
them. Oh, it's okay. We're having a good
Except
go
for
back.
you, Mr. Reese. You
conversation.
stay.
Well,
We
then
we
drop me,
talking
I'm
to
block
gonna go
me
back.
then.
I'm
Having
gonna
a
go
good
back out the box.
conversation.
I
Not
just
you, good
wanna.
fella. You can stay.
I just.
Sky gotta go.
I wanna
Justin,
say
did you
this
have
to.
something else you want? Oh, I'm sorry, good fella. You're talking. What
Okay,
did you say, baby?
Portia.
I wanna say this to Mr. Reese.
Mr. Reese, listen.
yes.
People also have to understand that. Actually, I'm not going to talk about people. I'm going to talk directly to you, if you don't mind. May I do that?
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So listen. In your adult life, now that you are a man,
Hmm.
there's nothing like knowing who your father is, where he is, and what he does.
Yeah,
Forgiveness is also about acceptance, as somebody said. You accepting him, does not mean, as somebody already said, that you have to okay or give a thumbs up on what he's doing. You have
yeah.
you have things that you have to accomplish, that you have to do. And by your forgiveness,
Hmm.
that frees up the path for your forward movement. Because unforgiveness brings about a block in your life,
Yeah,
because you're always focused on the different things that's causing you not to forgive in the situation. When you forgive him, man, you can move on with your life and keep going. He's going to be what he is. Your father's going to do what he does. You forgiving him, like somebody said, does not mean you okay. It just frees you to go ahead and move forward with your life. Think about it.
okay. All right. No, thank you for that. I really appreciate
What?
that.
Justin. Come on, baby. Say what you gotta say so you can drop back down and finish tapping for us. We ain't shit. We ain't shit. I know. But
I
go
know.
ahead.
No. I know. Yeah, let's please continue to tap. We're not gonna make it today. I can see that already.
That's
But
okay. Having a
I
sweet
want
I
to
swear I'm
do this,
tapping.
and it's not
We'll
just
make it
for
to
me.
30,000 before it's over.
Don't tap in
Don't
the
tap in
box,
the
y'all.
box, Gator girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say this, and it's not just for me. It's to just kind of lighten the mood a little bit. And oh, absolutely is gonna love this. But play my theme music.
I don't even know what that was.
That's Power Rangers.
Get the hell out. Back up. Your ass. What the hell? He sat up here all this time to do that, and then you gave him the show, Chad. He sat in the box all that time to play Power Rangers. It's on my fucking nerves. Yes, Gator Girl, what you got for us, baby?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
We talking about forgiveness. Did you have something to say about forgiveness? What is I question our
I appreciate your
tap
honesty.
fam because
Okay.
What
Just drop me. I don't know what
is
happened.
wrong with Sky?
I don't. I don't know.
Mr.
I need
Reese.
an adult.
Mr. Reese, last time you said that you didn't have nothing. Oh, it's cold. Okay, all right. Cause we be concerned about you, Mr. Reese.
I'm
you
sorry.
can
I'm outside right now. I'm taking the trainees out. So right now I'm training
Oh,
people. So I'm a
Okay.
training supervisor. We do refueling of planes at the airport. So
oh really?
oh,
You
Okay.
got to be out
oh!
there in
That's
that
why it be
cold weather.
sounding all like that. Now we know. We gonna stop teasing you.
We forgive
it's all
you.
right.
You know
It's
they
all
ain't got
right.
any sense, Mr. Reeves. You know that, right?
Not a lick of sense, but he already know. He know what he in for when he come in here. Shit,
Exactly.
y'all all know what you in for when you come in here. You get people sitting in the box talking about, I don't even know why I'm here.
Get a girl up here, sat like she had something to say. We gave her the floor, and she like, I don't even know why I'm here,
I'm
ma'am.
still I'm still gonna be listening. So, but I'm gonna drop down. I gotta get
Okay,
back to
well,
these people.
Okay, baby.
appreciate
Thank you
you.
for sharing your story with us.
Thank y'all for listening.
No problem.
Oh God, Darren, dumbass.
Who's
Somebody
a
I thought he was
fool. I
underwater.
meant to read what Darren said earlier. What? Oh man, I missed it. I thought I had. Oh, wait, I'm seeing some other comments we missed. Dang, how we miss all this?
But Gator Girl said, I be so lost half the time. No, your ass was not lost. You are found. You saw Goodfella. That's why you had your ass up in the box. You probably had your hair done today and was going to show us something.
I can't. Darren said the only way to get to your full potential is by freeing yourself from the child that's trapped.
Yeah.
Okay. And Big B said this is what grown folks do, talk about life issues, real talk. I agree. Something else Darren said. That was hilarious when Big V said the birds was asking for forgiveness because they were screeching.
Oh shit.
Deliciousness said, I literally just posted forgive so you can be forgiven. It cures you. Okay, come on. Um, what did he say? Man, it will not matter what he does or doing once you truly forgive him. Goodfella told Mr. Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Darren also said I had to learn dealing with as I got older. He couldn't give me what he didn't have. That
She can't get back in.
that part, Darren.
Sky can't get back in.
Get back in where?
She said she got kicked all the way out of TT.
Mm. I don't know what that means. Did
I don't know either, but she gone, ain't she?
oh she's here? She liking alive. So what you talking about?
I don't see no likes from her, but I be behind.
Let me see if she's still here. She's still showing up here.
Okay. She said she got kicked out. I don't know. Anyway, it's really interesting that this would be you would choose this as your topic this week because you know personally what I'm working to forgive, and I feel like I have.
Mm.
I woke up. I went to bed last night, and I woke up this morning feeling a lot lighter than I have in the past 9 months.
Whew.
Yeah, girl was struggling. I was on here acting like everything was good, but I was not good.
Yeah. Did you get some things off your chest?
I did.
And that's what
I
you
needed
know
it.
was needed. Look, I'm always going to advocate for a conversation. We be avoiding conversations because they gonna hurt. You don't want to disappoint folks. You don't want to upset people, or
Who the fuck? What the fuck, Elijah? What? Who the hell? Who the hell pregnant?
are you pregnant? Yes, with the Holy Spirit.
Oh shit!
Said, oh, thank you for the follow, Ursula. Is this your first time here? Welcome. Let me find it.
Welcome. Yeah, I wasn't. I don't think that I was avoiding the conversation. I think that I was just too angry to have it.
Mm.
I don't think that I was going to be able to convey my feelings or even have an intelligible conversation through the anger that I was in at the time. And I believe that him coming at this time with what he's dealing with made me have to address it in a different way. So it wasn't coming through anger. And it just seemed like the anger just went.
No way.
And I'm grateful. I'm grateful because your girl was struggling.
Because the circumstance changed, but had the circumstance not changed, do you think you could have gotten there?
I was praying.
Yeah.
It's funny because the night I prayed, the day I prayed,
Mm-hmm.
that night I got that call. The day I was like praying all morning, like to just um take that anger away and allow me to heal and move on. I was praying the entire morning, and then that night I got that phone call.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, DP. It was difficult, and I was like, why am I not healing? Because I've never been in a space where it was taking me so long to heal from something.
But it was
That should have been an insignificant blip on my radar, but it was not. It was very impactful.
Goodfellas said true forgiveness will bring about a peace. Absolutely. Darren said forgiveness is not just saying I forgive you, it's a mental process that brings mental healing.
Yeah.
And Tam, that may have been, oh, well, I know for sure it was a lesson that you needed to learn. Unfortunately, it came through this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely was eye opening for you that's why it stuck to your ribs like that.
Mm-hmm.
That you had to let go of that anger, that hurt, that all of that in
Mm-hmm.
order to truly forgive.
I
Uh,
think also I was angry with me
exactly. That
because
whole
I allowed a lot
yeah,
of it, and when I was having the conversation last night, I was like recognizing all my entire part in it,
yeah.
and I was able to completely let him off the hook because really for real I did it to myself.
And that's the part that's really annoying. Cause you like, dang, I really allowed myself to be in this position for what?
I did it to myself.
Hey PZ, how you doing, love? I mean, Mr. Big Shot. I'm sorry. Oh, it's say PZ. Hey PZ.
Oh shit.
That's how the Lord works, DP said. Hi Diablo. How you feeling? This your
Good
first time
morning.
here. Welcome. I can't even press the thing because all the things is together. I don't
All
know what's
things
going
is
on.
together. Oh Lord. Could have been the Lord showing you you weren't ready just yet, but heard your prayer. But He heard your prayer. Um, Possibly. I wanted
Nigga,
to be ready so bad because if you just sitting and hurt all the time and not even admitting that you're sitting in the hurt, because I think that was a part of the issue, that I wasn't admitting how I was truly feeling because I didn't want to be viewed as weak,
oh,
and I
that's it.
and I didn't want anybody to know that I was still hurting. And I didn't want people to think I was crazy about that shit. But I was.
All about perception, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I said pride is definitely attached to it too. Cause you got me effed up and you feel stupid. This is me speaking for me. A lot of times I felt stupid or insignificant because I allowed certain things to go on. Once I became privy to it, it's like, oh my gosh, like how dumb can you be, girl?
Mhm.
How did you let that get past you? Why would you, and so my pride kicked in like, no, I wouldn't dare let you know. I wouldn't dare tell you how I really feel because you ain't gonna know that I felt stupid about this, that you got me like this or got to me like this.
Mhm.
But it's not about that. We taking the wrong thing away from it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Big Memphis. Hey, good fellow.
So to me, your own proved a lot because although we in ourselves might think we ready, we can't fool God. And there could have been just a few certain things that He saw that you just weren't ready just
Mhm.
yet for that true forgiveness. But when you prayed that prayer and you really felt it in your heart that you knew He was ready,
Mhm.
He showed right on time and brought that thing to you.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's why I said it was definitely a lesson that needed to be learned. And what I'm realizing is that these lessons that we learn, and when we do get our aha moment and the light bulb goes off, like, oh my gosh, this is what that meant. Um, God has been giving us those lessons all along. This is just the first time we chose to accept it and pay attention to it. But
And a lot of times we sit and we waiting for apologies that we think we deserve that are not coming.
they're
These
never.
apologies may not be coming, but if you continue to sit in that, it is only you that is suffering because they don't think they owe you an apology and they've moved on with their life and they having big fun, and you sitting in the corner mad. Like, come on.
Yep. We still can reach 40K. Oh, you think so? Well, y'all got 20 minutes, so
Y'all
I
got 20 minutes. I believe in them.
mm-hmm.
Justin down there doing his big thing. Little butterfly, why you just getting here? This
Oh,
was a very Hey, Big Mark, good morning. Come on in the room. We're talking about forgiveness today. Um, we're talking about forgiving people for your benefit.
yes.
Even when they don't offer you the apology you think you deserve, even when they are habitual offenders,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with weather conditions. Okay, baby, be safe.
Yeah,
I,
please.
I supposed to go get my nails done. Should I be canceling? I can't cancel.
I don't think so. Good morning, King Banger. He said, are y'all twins or sisters? We are sisters in Christ. We are just
And twins in the
friends.
spirits.
That um, Darren said, I forgive y'all for thinking I was a bootleg salesman. Ooh,
Now we know you a real salesman.
that don't make you less of hustle man. I don't know. But you getting it
BPG Sean, good morning. Happy New Year, sir.
done, BPG Shine. Happy New Getting it done though, so who cares? Period. Period. Justin said go early. They are good trouble siblings. Exactly. Mr. Reed.
Yes, Mr. Reese. Yeah, school are closing 2 hours early, but my damn appointment is at 1 o'clock. I need to text her. Oh, now you got a story, girl. Get your ass up here and tell us this damn story. Hey, Southside. Good morning.
Hey, Southside, how you feeling? Thank you for joining.
I'm about to text her, ask her if she's still working. Of course, she's going to say yes. God damn it.
Okay,
Hey,
I got one.
Tam,
Hi,
if
ladies.
you're gonna go, Tam, go early. Don't wait till 1, because if you wait till 1, you won't be able to see the road. It's really gonna be that bad. So if you're gonna go, I suggest you go in the next 2 hours.
okay. Gator girl, what's your story?
So mine is it's funny. Mine is about my dad as well. Hey Brad. So mine was pretty. It was pretty rough. Um, he treated me like a soldier and a little boy at the same time. Even though I had two older brothers, but they didn't live with me, but they would come and visit. Um, let's see. It was rough. We were a lot alike. So of course I didn't know that, but we bumped heads a lot. A lot, a lot. Um, so I rebelled, I guess, a lot. He would say, "Oh, you're going to do this, you're going to do this," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." And I guess I would end up doing it anyway. I always tried to prove him wrong, and I would always prove him right, and it would always piss me off. And so I would just give up a lot. He didn't have my back a lot. There was a lot of situations that I went through, and I felt like he should have had my back as my dad. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like he would kind of come in more as a leader instead of my dad, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So our relationship in my teenage years was rough. Now when I got to high school, when he was about to retire, it got a little better. He started kind of calming down. When I went to college, it got even better because now I was away. So me and his relationship got better when I was further away. Then I went into the military. It got even better because now I'm away. Now I went in the military for him because I wanted us to have something in common. So my
Mm-hmm.
career, I thought we was going to be able to have something to talk about. We really didn't talk about it because I kind of wanted to keep him out of it. But he did put himself in it, and I didn't like it because he had a lot of clout in the military because of his rank. So where I was stationed at, a lot of people knew him. So if something would happen, he would kind of put his 2 cents in. I didn't like it. So I kind of had to tell him, like, I need you to step back a little bit. So I guess that bothered him, but he understood. Now, 30s, me and his relationship became better when I got 33. And me and him are solid as a rock. I can talk to him as an adult. Um, I don't fear him like I used to, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Um, I forgave him a long time ago. I did. He just came around probably 2 years ago. No, some months ago, and he said he was sorry. And I kind of looked at him. I listened to him, but I felt like that apology was for him, which is fine, which is
Mm-hmm.
fine, but it really wasn't for me. It was for him, you know?
And it
Because
might
I'm like,
have been
I
because
had to forgive
that
you a
might have
long
been
time
him
ago when you
forgiving
should have said you
himself.
were sorry.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That was his attempt at forgiving himself.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the
But I
acknowledgement
was
should give you peace.
it did. It surprised me some of the stuff that I didn't think that he recognized that he did. And I was like, wow, you remembered that. So it was nice to it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
So the older it's nice. Me and his relationship is solid now. You know, I'm 38 now, so that's my guy. We have that daddy daughter relationship now that I've wanted since I was a little girl.
Mhm.
So yeah, wonderful. Yeah, and peace, like what Goodfellow was saying about peace. When you forgive, man, peace is something else. My
Yeah.
life is at peace. Peace is beautiful,
Mhm.
very
Absolutely.
beautiful. That's all I
Absolutely.
had. See now,
But no, wait a minute. Before you drop, in the comments earlier though, you said when I asked the question, who do you need to forgive? You said your brother.
yeah.
That's not something you want to
Um.
touch on.
Uh. I do need to forgive him. Um. We haven't talked in 8 years. Uh.
Jesus.
I need to forgive him because it's not his fault. The reason he is how he is, he has issues and he's just not ready to deal with them himself. And I understand. Me and him both was in the military. We both went to war. I know mentally where he's at, and if he doesn't get no help, there's nothing I can do.
Mhm.
And so I know where he's at. And me and him got into it, and I told him, I said, I don't know who you are, and I said, I don't have a brother. I don't, because what he did, it was years of how he's been treating, and me standing tall with you through all the nonsense that you've done. I was the last one you had, you know. So it hurt me, but it's all I could do. It's really all I could do. So,
Um,
but
Absolutely. Have a great day, babe. Gator girl,
yeah.
I just want to ask you this. Will you have any regrets about your decision not talking to him if he should pass tomorrow?
Today.
Today.
No,
You
no,
won't have any regrets?
no,
Okay.
no.
If you're sure about that, but for me,
Hmm.
I lost a friend.
Now my nephews, yeah, so he has, like, my nephews and my nieces. I have wonderful relationships with them. Like, those are my babies, but him, no.
I have
Yeah,
a
it's
friend.
it's ju- it's it's deep. It is deep.
I had a friend who um I was not talking to for some time, and they even attempted to
I
try
have
to
one baby
reconcile
too.
with me, and I still was like, nope, I'm mad. And 30 days later,
Yeah.
he was killed in a motorcycle accident. It has been the biggest regret of my life,
Oh, he
because
hasn't tried
I will
anything.
never get that time back. Um, I will never be able to have the conversation that as a mature adult I should have had. And I said after that incident that I didn't want to have that type of regret with another person that I called friend or anything. So I I struggle with you saying you won't have any regret. Hope that you're sure about that. Um,
I've thought about it. Trust me,
okay.
I have, because I've lost people I've served with. It's a hard feeling. So I know the feeling, and I've thought about it. And no, I won't.
Okay. Good fella, you came up here to drop some nuggets on Gator Girl.
I know it
Be
is.
careful how you talk to her.
Um, for real to real, all jokes aside,
Yeah.
I know we all know the word.
Oh
If
yeah.
we don't know the word, we know some parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bible says that warning comes before destruction. There is a reason why Portia and Tam had this subject today, and if for no other reason, it brings about a light to something that we have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Call or however you got to do it, contact your brother. However you got to do it, contact your brother. Because you won't have no resentment does not mean that there is some animosity or anything in your heart that would be of peace. And if the past few years have taught us anything, is just what Tam said. Everything could be good today and that person gone tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you won't have no resentment, there may be something in your heart that's blocking you from having peace. Not having resentment is not the same as having peace.
Mm-hmm.
However, you got to do it. If you got to write a letter, a text message, a smoke signal, a Hallmark card, somehow reach out to your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And don't use the point that he's not reaching out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use that. You reach him.
Yeah. All right.
That's so good, good fella.
My man, my
Real
man, my
quick,
man. Huh?
drop a rest. Real quick, 40,000 likes, you guys. Thank you so much. Y'all pulled it out.
Hey.
Goodfella said it could be done. And he did it. You see, he dropped because he was
Yeah.
like, Tam is not about to get me. Because that is my man. He know.
Tap family is amazing.
He said that because him and my dad, I've always wanted them to their relationship to be solid,
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't talking to my dad either, like at all. And I said, if anything, I want them two to talk, and them two have been talking, and I'm like, that's all I really want, honestly. So and it's funny that he just
Imagine
said you
how
need.
powerful it would be if all three of you all could reconcile. Because the
Yeah,
devil, the devil is rejoicing in the fact that you said you wouldn't have no regrets, honey.
yeah.
Girl, the devil is still in the midst. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm sure. I know he is, because I don't want to talk to him. So I know he's still heavy. I know it, because it's like I don't want to. I know it's that he's still heavy, because I don't want to. Because I'm not this kind of person. I like talking to any. I'll never not meet a stranger. And for me not to want to talk to my brother and want to reconcile, I know who he is, because I always want to reconcile with everybody. I
Mm-hmm.
always do. I
Mm-hmm.
always do. And for me, like I said, I know. I'm like, no, if he was, I really don't care if he did. I'm like, I know if they're like, yeah, he died. Okay, and would you go to his funeral? No, I wouldn't. For what? He wouldn't come to mind. I promise you.
So I'm gonna tell you about
He
funerals.
would.
Good fella, bless us with another word. My mama told me a long time ago, and so just in case nobody ever told you, funerals are for the living. They're not for the dead. You go there to support the people that love that person.
True.
They are not for the person that's in the casket. They are already gone and have already met their maker. They ain't looking for you. You go to that funeral to
Right.
support the people that are grieving the loss of that person. So if you're not going to somebody's funeral because you was
True.
mad at them, the person that's laying in the box, that's probably already gone on to be with the Lord, he probably already forgave you, and so they got their wings, and your ass still down here mad. You ain't doing nothing but hurting you. So stop that. Yes, good fella. What you came to say, baby?
Okay, my last point. So, Gator Girl, listen. I know we keep using the same
Yes.
particular scenario, but now I got to flip it because this is serious.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's a question for you. What happens if
Okay.
God calls you home, leaves your brother here? What do you explain to God about what's in your heart?
Ooh. Oh my God. Girl, go call your brother right now, Jesus. Call him right now. You better hang up from here and call your brother, because you cannot explain to the Lord why you didn't do what he told you to do when 5 people came up here and told you what to do.
And it really
Yeah.
is.
True.
It really is
Jesus.
a reason that you came in here today. You heard this, that you even said your brother in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reason, Gator
Yeah.
Girl. And I think, like we said earlier, it could be our pride that holds us captive. It could be, all the hurts and pains. Yes, we don't know the whole story of why y'all are in the place that y'all are in. But thank God that you get another chance and opportunity to get it right. Because if you do truly have the heart that you say that you have, willing to reconcile with everybody else, why is this so different? Why is this so different? You should still, if that's really who you are at the core of you, that should be applied across the board, regardless of relationship, regardless of trauma, whatever has happened. If that's who you are, you don't allow nobody else to change who you are. You be you and who God has called you to be.
The amazing you that we have, the person that you showed up as on this platform,
Bubbly,
immediately
lively,
jumped in and became family instantly, could
instantly.
joke and be joked on.
Oh,
That
thank you.
person, that person needs to call her brother and make amends. And it don't matter what he
Mm-hmm.
say. It don't matter how he move. It's for you.
It's for you.
That was what we said at the top of the hour. The
Right.
forgiveness is for you.
It's for
And
you.
just like Goodfella said, what do you
Amen.
tell the Lord when you have ignored and disobeyed him over and over and over again? You probably got enough shit to repent for. Don't let this be another thing.
And just like your brother, you like you said, he wouldn't come to yours. Just because it wouldn't be reciprocated or you think it wouldn't be reciprocated doesn't lessen your effect in what you do. This is for you.
Right.
This ain't about
Mm-hmm.
him. This is about
Absolutely.
you and releasing yourself. So even if you were to call him after this live and say, "Hey brother, I forgive you and I love you," and leave it at that, who knows if he'll respond back? Who knows if he break down and be like, you know what, this has been eating away at me. What if it be a breakthrough moment? And if it doesn't, that's okay too, because you
It's
did
your
yours
breakthrough.
and you get your breakthrough. You did what you needed to do and you left it there.
Do your damn homework. Come back
Okay.
in here tomorrow and tell us the story about how you released today.
Woo, telling you.
Yeah, I will. Yes, I appreciate y'all for.
We
I
love you,
really
girl,
do.
and we believe
Yes.
in you.
It's
I love
easier
y'all
said
too.
than
Thank
done. We
you.
definitely know that. But it's nothing but
Yeah.
we just be holding on to so much and it's killing us slowly. For real.
Mm.
For
Yeah,
But
real.
it is.
Miss Skater
Yeah.
girl, I gotta tell you,
Yes.
my older brother was my biggest bully. I'm talking about he used to
Mm.
destroy me. He is the reason why I
He said
was
he was leaving. Here he go. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
he used to destroy me. And listen, I'm gonna give you one example. This man knew that my mom didn't like it when we went to bed because we were children. So he literally would wake up at night, get off because we had bunk beds. He would get off the top of his bunk and piss on me while I was sleeping, just and then go wake my mother up and be like, "He peed the bed again," just so I can get an ass whooping. This man had did so much to me. But then, as we got older, it didn't change until we were teens. Uh, we hated each other. Like literally, we fought every. This dude, for one, my brother was taught to bully me. The abusive stepfather I was telling you about, he's the one that put that taught my older brother how to bully me, just totally destroy me. He used to show my older brother. He used to tell my older brother and sister, uh, whenever you finish your food, if you're still hungry and Justin got food on his plate, just go ahead and take that. We don't need to worry about Justin because yeah, he alright. But of course, again, that's another resentment. My stepfather did not like me because I wasn't his child, and because of the guy who stole his wife. So again, whole nother story. But yeah, my brother, and then it happened when my brother got into a car accident that almost took his life. And the thought of him not being in my life, like even though he was that bully, But the thought of me just not being able to have him to like speak to him, or because I mean, yeah, he was my biggest bully, but he was sort of almost like my best friend also. He bullied me, but he ain't let nobody else bully me.
I think that's the dynamics a lot of times of siblings. Um, you know, we don't even recognize as the older sibling a lot of times that the amount of abuse that we are subjecting our younger siblings to. You think it's just playing. And so a lot of times we don't even recognize the damage that we're doing. It's not always intentional. Some of it is, but it's not always intentional. Yeah, so I'm sorry that was your experience, but I believe what you were getting to is that you were able to forgive him so that you yourself can be released. And that's what we're all talking about right now. Forgiving so that you can release yourself. Release yourself. Mr. So I guess he wanted to add something. Go ahead, Mr. Reeves.
I'm just want to let you know that you never give up on your siblings, no matter what y'all going through. Someday y'all gonna need each other. So whatever, because I have a brother and he's been in the army, and I know since he came back from the war, I know he's not right in the head. So, but you have to be patient with him because I know his mind's going through a whole bunch of stuff psychologically, mentally, and everything. So you have to be patient. I'm trying to be patient with my brother because he moves around a lot. He's going everywhere. And when I find him, he get mad at me. Well, why are you calling me such and such and such and such? Just let that go because one day you might need your brother. One day your brother may need you. And
Absolutely.
being mad at him is not gonna. Being mad at him shouldn't stop you from trying to help him.
Mm-hmm.
When my mother died, when my parents died, my mother told me, "You're gonna be the one to look after your siblings." I have four. I got three other siblings. I got another sister. I got another brother. And I have another a baby sister.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to look out for all of them, even though I'm like the second. My older sister is on drugs. Then it's me. Then my brother's in the army. Then I have a little sister. I'm the one to keep us all together. Because sometimes they don't talk. We don't. I, I call them. I try to talk to them. Everything. So don't be patient with your siblings. No matter how mad you can get, y'all can talk about it and get through it. No matter what.
Absolutely.
Absolute. Why you drop?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to hear what he had to say, unless he was just going to fuss at us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, y'all, this was a very powerful topic Tuesday. I hope that each and every one of you all got something, a gem to take with you today. Something that you can share with somebody else and bless somebody else with. But we need to get to forgiving. We got to get to it. Thank you, Portia.
No problem. You sure? Absolute. You can do it now. Nobody else is here.
Yeah, come on, come back
Come on.
before we wrap up.
We got a few minutes for you. Just a
We're
few.
gonna, we gonna let Ab come up and tell us what he wanted to share with us, and then we are going to let y'all know.
There you go. Hey, baby.
Mother Tab, how y'all doing?
Good morning,
Listen,
baby.
the first thing you definitely have to do, from my own experience, is heal yourself. You heal
Mm-hmm.
yourself so the excellence in you could prevail. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't heal yourself, ain't nothing nobody gonna say to you that you're gonna be able to jack or take care of. You gotta clear yourself and clear your mind first. Okay?
Absolutely.
When it comes to man, woman, child, whatever, clear yourself. Don't excuse nobody for their actions. Excuse yourself out of the situation and heal yourself. And once you do that, can nothing hurt you, can nothing bother you, can nothing get underneath your skin. You have super thick skin. I know those things sound crazy at the moment, but when you pull yourself out of a situation, you can take care of anything because self-preservation is law of the land. And once you take care of yourself, you can handle anything.
Absolutely.
Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Yo, Nick and P, I'm sorry. You was looking like Lieutenant Uhura today. I felt like Star Trek. And yeah, that's what I was at. That's what. Live long and prosper. I'm doing the same thing. Peace.
Thank you, AB. Y'all, we gotta get out of here. We way past time because y'all wanted to talk.
He know I don't know what he's talking about. So okay, I know Star Trek. Ain't Spock do that? Anywho, thank y'all so much. I love y'all. I hope this conversation was we were here on time today, FYI, Darren. Nobody was here but me, Tam, and maybe 4 other people. But that's okay. We will extend for you guys at any time. This was a very good conversation, and I hope that it was healing. And I hope that you all did learn something from today for sure. If you were unsure, if you felt like these are moments that they are signs from God, just in case you needed a sign, just in case you wanted to, you were thinking about it and you felt uneasy about it. This was your sign to go ahead and do. And thank y'all in 20 more minutes. No, Darren. Thank y'all so much. I would also like to do a shameful plug. Again, my episode I dropped last night on Life Be Lifin', episode 10, called Forgiving You for Me. Please go listen to it. It was and it was just so crazy because I've been speaking to all of my friends, Tam and other people around me, and even with myself dealing with my situation. Like this has been a theme lately. Like, okay, Portia, like you gotta really forgive and you really gotta see this and get this lesson. So I would encourage you guys to go check it out and listen to it. And I just thank y'all again for being here and sharing this space with us, being vulnerable, sharing your stories. I heard a lot of emotions and I felt you guys' energy. And I'm grateful that we can be in the midst of each other and laugh, but also, cry and feel our feels. So thank y'all so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Goodfellas said you ladies are powerful. Real talk. Thank y'all for being the vessel. Thank the Lord for allowing us to be a vessel, because I don't know that I knew that was what I was sent here to do when I first started doing these lives. And then quickly that this is what, yeah, we like to have fun too, and every day is not a serious conversation like today, but also we are always open to have these serious conversations. So we thank you guys for keep coming back.
Yes, go on, Justin. Go on.
Okay,
Say
Justin.
good morning. Thank y'all so much. We
7
appreciate
Mil, good
y'all.
morning. Thank you. We are just getting ready to wrap up. We are normally here from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. So set your notifications and come back and join us tomorrow, where it will be Special Request Wednesday. We'll go Power Rangers. Jesus Christ.
I can't with them.
Remember, the world has never met another you. Go out and be great in it. We love you guys. We thank you for 42,000 likes. We thank you for knocking out 2 gifting goals. We thank you for all that you have blessed us with sharing your stories. And we will see you guys back here tomorrow for Special Request Wednesday. Is Gator Girl still here? I think she left. But if you are still here, Gator Girl, we need your size. You need to send us your size so we can send you your t-shirt. And everybody else, you're going to get your gifts today. Okay. Love you guys. Have an amazing day today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Forgive somebody.
Forgive.